When I said IVE were bringing back Girl Crush to 5th gen, I didn't think it would be so controversial. Today, IVE have released their 3rd title track for this comeback, so Baddie, off of their first EP, IVE Mine. So naturally, I have to put my reviewer cap back on to talk about this comeback with you guys, because it's literally IVE. So if you're interested, then please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. And of course, we'll be discussing Baddie, but we're also going to take a deep dive into Off the Record in either way to look at whatever symbolism or theories we can take out of it as well. Like the true philosopher I am. So you might have noticed that I've taken a little bit of, I see what I did there. So you might have noticed that I've taken a little bit of a break from reviewing to focus on K-pop journalism. But I love IVE and I've been so excited for this title track, especially since I saw the teaser where it was giving Girl Crush vibes. But we'll get to that shortly. Let's first talk about the amount of releases. So of course they released their first EP with 3 title tracks. Now I originally thought that Off the Record and Either Way were pre-releases, but if you look at their highlight medley, it says that those 3 songs are the title tracks. Though in theory they could still be considered pre-releases since they were released ahead of this last title track. You know, actually, philosophically, if you want to go there, anything released before anything is technically a pre-release, isn't it? This is gonna get confusing real quickly. Anyways, let's talk about Baddie. Now, I haven't seen any reviews, but I do have to start off by saying that this music video is a lot deeper than you would think. Of course, we came off the tails. See what I did there? I'll see myself out. Of course, we came off the tails of songs and music videos like Either Way or even Off the Record, which I feel were a lot deeper, a lot more pensive, a lot more symbolism throughout. But you know what? This music video literally makes to us a revelation of a secret ancient civilization of cat humans. Of course, referring to IVE, who have been spending a little bit too much time at fish markets, making the people around them highly suspicious. What's that 90 Day Fiancé sound? That is suspect and highly suspicious. I should really film that. Wait a minute.
That is something unusual and highly suspect. That is something unusual and highly suspect.
But not just that, it seems that on top of wreaking havoc at fish markets, they have also been spotted perching on cars, yowling like cats, being obsessed with laser pointers, and even arching their backs and hissing at people. I mean, it's all over the news, all these spottings of cat-like humans. And we even see a transformation happen before our own eyes with Wonyeon transforming into a cat. Surely on her way to steal some fish or knock something off a counter, I'm not sure. But watch out, because these human cats are terrorizing people all over the world. And though the news claim that they're not causing any physical harm, the psychological harm is undeniable. But as the true baddies they are, they really don't care, and they reveal their faces to the world despite having committed felonies. That's the whole gist of the music video. Basically, the world spotting for the first time these cat humans, this ancient civilization of cat humans. And the cat imagery throughout the music video is obviously so much fun. We see them shopping for cat food, to which the cashier is looking at them like a little suspiciously, like, why do you need that much cat food? Well, we got 6 cat girlies to feed back home, I don't know. And of course there are these scenes with Ray and Kyle who are in like a cat house of sorts, very pink themed, and they look like giants within them. Also, fun fact, this is where I shoot my news show. So the music video was definitely fun, even though I feel like it was maybe less symbolic than the previous 2 music videos. It doesn't need to necessarily be symbolic, but there are a lot of things to look into. For example, the newspaper articles, though a lot of what is written in the newspaper articles, if you actually pause, is just nonsense. It's just a bunch of words together. They're not even proper sentences, but there are a couple of proper sentences that add context to the world of the music video. As for the sound, so I made a short previously talking about how, you know, in the teaser, it looked like IVE were bringing back Girl Crush in 5th gen, and a lot of people were arguing about it, basically saying like, what do you mean Girl Crush? What do you mean bringing back Girl Crush? Girl Crush never left us. What do you mean? Well, you know, Blackpink forever will maintain Girl Crush, but that doesn't mean Girl Crush never left us. You know, in my world, and maybe we're not living in the same world, but in my world, people got sick of Girl Crush, so people started doing Teen Crush and other concepts a lot more frequently. It doesn't mean Girl Crush is non-existent, it just means it's not super common anymore, especially in 5th gen that values boring core. Lovingly. please. Then the other thing people took issue with is the fact that I said like IVE and 5th gen. Now, I'm not necessarily saying IVE are a 5th gen girl group. I'm just saying we're currently in 5th gen times. So IVE, whether they're 4th or 5th gen, we can argue about that in the comments below. In theory, if they were bringing back Girl Crush, would be bringing it back to these 5th gen times that we're currently in. Do you get my gist, my drift? Something. Now, after watching the whole music video, it does feel way more Girl Crush than I have ever done before, right? I feel like they were very much well known for this elegant concept, elegant crush, shall we say. So for IVE, it very much is a departure from the elegant crush that they, I would say, are known for. But isn't necessarily Girl Crush. There are still some teen crush elements, I would say. From a spectrum of Girl Crush to teen crush, I think it's not quite, it's center left, not politically. But of course, you can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As for how I feel about the sound itself, you're gonna have to wait until my end of month review to see where I rank it. But alas, let's move on to either way or either way. You can let me know in the comments down below how you personally pronounce it. I feel like I interchange them. You don't really care. It's fine. Enough about my life story. The music video for Either Way, interestingly, brings us to that beautiful galaxy that they were talking about in IVE's I Am. A galaxy that is also pictured as some type of bruise on Wonyoung's knee. Perhaps a result of her fall out of that plane, I don't know. But we do see this glitter symbolism throughout the entirety of the music video. For example, we have Kai laying on the ground with her whole hand filled with glitter, and she even dances with her glitter hand as a focal point, which also follows us to near the end of the music video where their faces are covered in glitter. Their surroundings are covered in glitter. It's a whole glitterful mess. But we'll get to that. First, I do want to talk about the symbolism of all 6 of them being the same person. And they do actually make mention of this in the behind the scenes, that they're actually all the same person, so they all have to act the same. And we see this within some of the first scenes, especially with Wonyoung looking in the mirror and Ray is looking back at her. Which then, of course, this theme is quite amplified during that scene where Yujin is in her car and she has all these things because she's moving. She's going up the stairs, bringing suitcases, and we have each member also doing the exact same motions, the exact same things, wearing the exact same red sweater. So in a sense, they are all the same person. But then we go a little bit rogue with it because at the end, Wonyoung suddenly has superpowers and the music video ends the way it started with a beautiful galaxy. Now, the meaning of this one had me a little stumped, I'm not gonna lie, because I wasn't too sure what to make of it. You know, of course, in the beginning, we see a mess surrounding sad girls who in one way or another are actually all each other. And these emotions are purposely complicated. There's also a scene in the music video where they have very fun makeup drawn on their faces. And Kai actually makes reference of this, saying that, you know, they draw on each other's faces and joke around a lot. That's the whole premise of it. But sometimes these jokes could feel offensive, and she really wanted to express that in her scene. But the one thing that really got me is Yujin, because she has a scene where she's crying, you know, glitter on her face. There's a mess surrounding them. And she says, in the end, this is not real. That's why it's sad. Because we do see them being quite sad amongst the mess. And then near the end, they all come together and they're quite happy amongst the mess. So maybe just this idea that this happiness will not last is the saddest thing. And we can often be held back by that prospect because nothing lasts forever. Emotions never last forever. This happiness that you feel will not last forever. And that in and of itself is sad. But if you spend too much time focusing on the fact that things will end, that is inevitably going to make you even sadder. So you leave yourself open to these sad feelings that they themselves too will not last forever. But you can really get caught in this cycle. And I do think that has to do with the lyrics as well, because, you know, we start off by saying, some say I sound full of myself, that I'm just showing off. And we make a mention of many versions that you can have of yourself, the good, the bad, the falsehoods. But in the end, it's all you. It's not about who's right or wrong. And I think that speaks to letting go of those versions that other people might have in their head of you, because actually you just cannot control it. You can't change the fact that these happy emotions will inevitably come to an end. You can't change the fact that people are going to view you in a bad light. You can only just accept things for what they are. And I think that's the whole premise of this release, you know? No matter what, either way, I'm good. Ooh, that was a little deep. So this brings us to the 70s inspired Off the Record. Of course, we start off with a sample from Cats and a music video filled with nostalgic feeling clips, the youthful bubbling of a drink at a restaurant, the feeling of flying when you're on a swing, but also tears and sadness and fear as the world shakes around you. It's 2 a.m. Lower your voice to a whisper. The retro nature of the song takes us through many different stories and lots of secrets. This music video was full of gossip. That's why Wonyoung's hair is so big. It's full of secrets. Now, this is what I took out of the music video. I think the journey that each girl is on is a representation of the different relationships we can have with love, the different views you could have of love, whether you're scared of it, whether you embrace it. And with that, we see a lot of symbolism with apples. Sometimes the apples are in the shape of a heart. Sometimes the apples are just apples. But the lyrics go, give us a little peek into your heart. Go to the forbidden island. Look for the forbidden fruit. Sometimes forbidden things are the most tempting. So the comparison of an apple to a heart, to something forbidden, to something so tempting seems quite evident. Starting off with Issa, who preys on a glowing bean that eventually turns into a tree. If we compare this to a relationship with love, she seems quite patient, willing to cultivate, willing to prey on it. And because of that patience and willingness to cultivate, she's really able to enjoy the fruits of her labor, literally. She is ecstatic. It is so exciting to her. But with this scene, we can also see the contrast, because what seems like butterflies to one person could be absolutely terrifying to someone else. Which brings us to Wonyoung's scene, who seems to be preparing for a disaster, right? She seems like she's in this bunker type situation. Though, of course, she's not actually in a bunker. She seems to be at the top story of a house. We see hordes of toilet paper, hordes of canned apples. And she's within her home wearing a motorcycle helmet, even spying on a guy outside who is also wearing a motorcycle helmet. She seems afraid of the prospect of love, hiding from it, literally preparing herself in case of an emergency. And this is where we see that contrast, because a similar scene happens to her where the walls start shaking and there's debris flying around and she's absolutely terrified, compared to Issa, who's just embracing it. Next we have Ray, who seems to be playing this Cupid type role. We see the viewfinder of her bow reflects the light of a heart before she shoots her shot at a physical apple. We also see her arrow and Kyle's love interest, as well as Isso's tree. Kyle, on her part, seems delusionally in love. She seems unafraid of love, in fact, quite welcoming of it, almost too ready for it, as she's seen wearing a veil at a 24-hour diner that seems to be closed. She pictures herself as a shadow kissing someone, but in the end, she is not the recipient of this love. In fact, there's this scene where she's giving an absent audience a bow in her veil, as the lyrics say, psycho-romantic. As for Liz and Yujin, you can let me know what you think their relationship to love is, if you agree with this theory or whatever theory you'd like to share. But they just seem to be going with the flow. I don't know. They seem carefree, willing to run towards love, with Geese being notoriously aggressive, and I'm pretty sure breaking into a mall is illegal, but I don't know. So yeah, I definitely thought it was so much fun to look into this music video specifically. And honestly, overall, I do have to give it to Yujin, because her acting was stellar. Like, if the song is trying to evoke longing, she killed it. If in either way she was trying to give us sadness, she killed it. So yeah. Oh, shit. I totally forgot to ask you guys what you thought of this in my community tab. I haven't done this in so long. What did you think of IVE's Baddie and Off the Record and either way? In the meantime, let's actually take a look at the rest of the album. I've mine. So we have Holy Moly, OTT, and Payback. We'll just give them a little listen. I'm so excited for Holy Moly based on the title alone. Ooh, Wild West vibes. This almost feels like the IVE we would have come to know until now. Let me know what you think of Baddie as a title track, first of all, because it is quite different, I would say, from IVE. But anyways, this feels already more IVE. I'm curious. We're getting to the chorus. Hello Magic? What? Should this not have been the title track? What? You're kidding me. How are you gonna have 3 title tracks and this isn't one of them? My heart right now, my heart feels like the heart right here. Like, this is IVE. This is literally IVE, isn't it? Like, this is their signature. God damn it. That is magical. That is maybe not magical, majestic. That's what I wanted. No, both. It's literally both. And it's so IVE. So IVE. I'm a little confused right now how we have 3 title tracks. And no offense to the first 2 title tracks, but they do have a similar, like, low-key vibe, shall we say. I think Holy Moly, Baddie, and which one? Either way? No, Off the Record. Why not 4 titles? Why not like 2 pre-releases and 2 title tracks? I need to speak to Starship immediately. But let's move on to Payback. 아름다운 view, not make you be someone dreams come true. No, serotonin on another deja vu. I thought there was a reference. Never mind. I feel like I would choose this over Off the Record as well. Don't get me wrong. Either way, no, Off the Record, it has like a similar like retro 70s feel to it as well. And I think it sounds so dreamy and it's beautiful. It's not necessarily my style, but it is IVE. And like I could totally picture it growing on me. But this just feels pink. Like if Off the Record feels retro, it's like warm colored retro orange. This is like pink and more IVE. I'm so confused right now. Like, do you get what I mean? It feels more IVE. Okay, now we have OTT. Feels like retro as well. Retro as if I have never done something like a retro sounding. What's F? I don't even know the choreography. It reminds me of I love my tongue on you. Doja? Okay, so if I had to rank the songs, Holy Moly, number 1, Baddie, number 2. Like, I just feel like those should have been the 2 title tracks. And then, what was the song? Payback could have been the 3rd title track. It's so weird to me. I would have chosen some different songs is all I'm saying. So let me know in the comments down below which you would have chosen as the title tracks. Multiple. Like, it's so weird to me because it's like, yes, K-pop is doing a lot more title tracks these days. Fair enough. And it seems like a dream, right? Because sometimes you listen to an album and you're like, no, that should have been the title track or that should have been a title track. But how do you have 3 title tracks? There's not a lot of comments because I asked on my community tab way too late. So then I'm going to edit this and then I'll come back and read some comments. I'm back, but with stomach cramps. I need some of Isol's prayers right now. So of course I asked you guys on my community tab what you thought of Baddie, and of course Off the Record in either way as well. So let's take a gander. I wasn't even screen recording. I would have lost it. Wonyoung's voice is so catchy. The whole album is amazing, especially Holy Moly. I agree. Either way just hits both lyrically and musically. It's such a lush song, if that makes sense. I like all the tracks. Either way, lyrics are just amazing and comforting, and the music video is as well. I think it shows everything I've went through, so it makes the song even more emotional. Off the Record is beautiful, vibey, chill, catchy song, and I just love to listen to it. Last but not least, Baddie. Even though it's different from their other title tracks, they still nailed the concept and show us how versatile they can be. I'm obsessed with the beat, the chorus, and the na-na-na-nas. It sounds so heavenly. So overall, I think it was a great comeback as expected from IVE. Just need to wait a little bit until the B-sides grow on me. I'm very glad IVE aren't sticking to just one sound, and the results are actually great. If I'm gonna rank the title tracks, it's gonna be Off the Record, Either Way, and Baddie. While for the B-sides, Payback, Holy Moly, and OTT. And to add, Payback might be my favorite song from the EP. Ooh, I love that IVE is sticking to their royal concept and not just doing Y2K like everyone and their mother. I love this new sound with their title tracks, but I kind of feel like Baddie is the weakest. I don't know, maybe it'll grow on me. So number 1, Off the Record, number 2, Either Way, and number 3, Baddie. I think their best musical identity works so far in terms of production and lyrics. You feel a human connection in their songs this time that feel personal. The music videos were very pretty too. Off the Record, in my opinion, is stellar. Either Way is fine, mediocre. Baddie is painfully average, boring to me. Overall, I love this concept direction, even if people say the public is abandoning them or whatever. Honestly, I like that it's a different concept, but it still somehow finds a way to suit all the members. I really like the outfits and the album cover is pretty. The rap parts are solid and the beat kept me interested. So what I'm noticing is a lot of people really like Either Way and Off the Record, which were 2 songs that honestly I would have assumed, again, were like pre-release type things, or that people wouldn't like love a lot, but it feels like maybe the authenticity behind them is really connecting with people. Maybe that's the thing. Me, I like a good beat drop, what can I say? I liked Either Way a lot for its comforting vibe and thought Off the Record was sweet. So I was completely surprised by Baddie since it didn't fit the vibe of the pre-releases, and that's why it's harder for the song to grow on me. But I think it will be stuck in my head at some point. Either Way has lots of emotions that's lyrically expressed well, I think, and the music video is really artistic and cool. I'm not a huge fan of Off the Record, to be honest. It's just not my style and it hasn't grown on me so far, but it might. And as soon as I saw the Baddie music video, I liked it, but the song itself took a minute to grow on me. Man, everybody literally is saying that they love Either Way. I really like Baddie. The sample is so addictive. What was the sample? So this is where we're going to end the video. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. And you can also join my Patreon if you'd like. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. As for me, I'm gonna get going. Bye! 90-day fiance, suspicious and highly suspect. Chantel? I f***ing give up. What the hell?
When did I get to the... I want to get...
Whatever, I give up.